Here's an example of how you'd refresh child UX containing a list based on its parents' selections of two other lists. So here we have a parent object, parent UX, and it's got a couple of list controls on here. They're identical list controls. It doesn't matter. They're just returning the same thing, a customer ID. And here's an embedded child object. And we'll go and look at the child object first. It's got a field that we've created. It's not bound. It's hidden right now, and it's custom. It's going to be holding the customer ID. So in this particular case, it's numeric, and I just call it current customer ID. Here's our list of customer invoices, and we can forget this button. So the list of customer invoices holds an invoice ID, customer ID, which we're going to use. And the arguments for this specific list is that we're going to set an argument that I created called arg_cust_id. We're going to set that at runtime, and it's going to be the value of whatever's inside cur_cust_id, which is our hidden field right here. So that's all that needs to happen. There's nothing else going on in here. And we'll come back to our parent object. Now, in the parent, regular stuff, I'm pulling information from the TWheel customers table, and I'm returning a customer ID. So that's important, and I'm doing that for both of the lists. In fact, the code and the setup for both lists is identical. So let's go to our list events. There's nothing in here. Yeah, there's nothing in the layout that's specific. In list events on the onClick event, we're going to grab the child object. So we've given, just pop back out here for a sec. Here's our embedded object, and I've given it a component alias called embedded. Didn't want to do that. Called embedded cust invoices. So that's our component alias for the embedded UX component. We'll come back in here into our onClick event. So we're going to do a get child object on the embedded cust invoices, and it is UX, although that's default, and put it in anyway. So we're setting up a variable called C object. So that's our object. C object dot set value. So we're going to set the value of our hidden field on our child object called cur_cust_id. So we're doing a set value into cur_cust_id for this dot value. This dot value is going to be our current customer ID passed back from our list. And then we're going to do a C object dot refresh list data on the list in our embedded UX component. So this code is running as well in our second list. If I look at list events here, you'll see this is exactly the same thing. It's no different. Grabbing the child object, setting a value on the child object field for this dot value, refreshing the child object list. And so let's go and run this now. When it opens up, of course, the child object hidden field is going to be empty, so there are going to be no invoices showing. But as soon as we click on something in here, so there's all our customer ID 1 invoices, and I'll go over to our list, customer list number 2, and I'll click on Sally, and she's only got 1. And I'll go over here and click on Janet, and she's only got 1 invoice as well. And I'll come back to our customer list number 2, and of course we have 2 there. So it's all based on that hidden field and just passing information from either of these two, grabbing the child object, which is this one, our lower UX component, and refreshing the list. I hope that helps. Thanks for watching.